The Harder They Fall, released in 2021, is one of the best comedy and action thriller hits, with the audience loving the killer soundtracks and the fight between Nat Love and Rufus Buck. Before jumping into our main plot, I urge you to keep your lungs filled with restrained air, because this video is full of spoilers. The movie starts with screening a kid, Nat Love, at the dining table with his parents. They're praying before lunch. After praying to the Lord, they sense something at the door. A mysterious man enters the house with guns. Nat's father told him that they should take a walk and finish their business outside, but the man refuses and instantly kills the mother and father. Nat was left with nothing but a cross etched into his forehead. After quite some years, we see a grown outlaw, Nat Love, in Salinas, Texas. He kills a scorpion-tattooed man involved in the crime, and the only culprit remaining is their leader, Rufus Buck. After the pre-curtains have closed, we see some men of Rufus's gang riding their horses back from a bank robbery. Meanwhile, Nat's right hand, Bill Pickett, kills them while singing songs. After the crossfire, Jim Beckworth approaches them from behind. Jim and Grimes confront each other. They've shared the same gang in the past. Grimes says his mother used to say that Jim is a sweet boy, to which he replied, "Look what he's done to my eyes." Jim rejoinders, "I am sweet." "You're not sweet," Grimes says. Then Jim kills him before he takes his hands-on gun. Jim and Bill rob their money that originally belonged to Rufus, and he requires them to run the town of Redwood City. The scene changes to Douglastown, where Nat Love arrives on his horse. There he visits Stagecoach Mary's saloon. At the entrance, Cuffy asks him to give his weapons. Thank God he gave up his guns, because the men next to him got pounded by her as they refused theirs. After quite a show, Mary makes her entrance. As she started the song, which was quite impressive, "Get that horse and his wagon, get that man and his rifle, get that priest and his Bible. For them, that's dead on arrival." Whoa, this jolted a spark between Mary and Nat. They kissed. But wait, she asks him to get out and then punches him. What was that kiss for then? Cuffy tells him that Mary is waiting for him in the third room on the second floor. In the room, it turns out that she's mad at him because all he cares about is revenge. During their cross-dialogue, their argument turns into an adventure, and while they're having fun, Pickett intervenes and tells him that there are many serious concerns, and Nat has to take a look at this one. Nat goes on to see a hostage. He declares that the money that you've stolen from us was Rufus's, and now he's getting out of prison. Nat frees him, and the scene changes to Rufus's men riding horses towards a train. They stop the train, making everyone hostages, and release the leader of all gangs, Rufus Buck. Meanwhile, Marshall Reef visits the saloon. Nat chuckles after seeing him, and while they're taunting each other, Marshall puts his hands in his jacket, doubting Jim and Mary enough to aim at him. Oh, it's just a pipe. During their cross-dialogue, Marshall concerns about the Crimson Hood gang on account of a bank robbery in Kansas City, and he knows that someone else got to them before him. He arrests Nat because he was involved in the robbery from the Crimson Hood gang. Conversely, Rufus Buck makes an entry with his crew in Redwood City. There, he's been updated with the situation, like how their money got ambushed on the way. Buck decides to take his territory back with force. As he stands in front of the town leader's office, the scene changes to Wiley Esco, the man with golden teeth. While eating snakes, he scolds Buck and tells him to leave before he finishes his lunch. Otherwise, he'll snap his fingers and he'll disappear for good. While he was abusing Rufus, someone knocked on the door. Wait, is he dreaming? Esco's own men came, aiming guns at him. Outside the office, Rufus and Esco get into a war of words. Esco advises him that the world he knew is gone, and now he cannot run this town, but Rufus looks like an angel who desires to change people's lives. After that, they get into real action by striking one another. Rufus punches him in his face, shattering his golden teeth. He also tells him that Redwood City will never be his, and he's not welcome here anymore. Marshall stops his horse in the middle of nowhere and loads his gun. He opens Nat's handcuffs so he can pee. While they're having a talk, Marshall gave his rifle to Nat, and it seems that they're on the same side, to kill Rufus. Before they could leave for their target, Nat's squad arrives. After acknowledging Nat's plan, they also want to accompany him. As Nat and his friends are going to Redwood to take revenge, Redwood is in a bad situation as Sheriff Wiley put all the town's property on auction. Trudy hopes for a way out by collecting taxes from the citizens of Redwood. While explaining the terms, she concluded the taxed amount should be $50,000, to which the public frenzies because according to them, if Rufus scraped every penny from the town, it wouldn't come near to that. During the talks, one man abused Rufus and got killed by him on the spot. Rufus forced everyone to collect the money so he could run the town better. The main plot of this movie starts with Mary volunteering to get the information from Redwood. As she's in advertisements, she will buy saloons, and Rufus, desperate for money, would allow her to stay. At first, Nat refuses her suggestion and proposes to her on the spot, but gets rejected. Poor love. Mary arrives at the town, but stops by Trudy in front of Rufus's bar. During her talk with Rufus, he doubted her proposal, and Trudy smashed her head with a rifle. The following day, Nat smells something dubious and decides to go after Mary. In the meantime, Trudy investigates her. Mary is reluctant towards her questions, to which she says that Hope must die, and a man from behind starts choking her. She was saved at the last second when Trudy said, "Not yet." They left Mary on the road, but guess what? Nat and his friends arrive for her. Nat puts himself in for Mary, and Jim teases Cherokee Bill to get into the drawing contest because he heard that Bill is so fast that his opponents ain't got time to draw. To which Bill replies that, "No, that ain't me. I am the Cherokee Bill that shoots men in the mouth that talks too much." As they're getting ready for battle, Bill tells Trudy that I'll get a drink for myself. Good night. Everyone laughed and Jim was like, "I've practiced all night to beat you, and you're not supposed to walk away." In prison, Rufus tells him that if he robs a bank and gets him money, he'll release Mary. As all were planning to rob a bank the next day, Nat suggested Cuffy wear a red outfit. They go to Maysville Town Bank. All the people were surprised to see him, and when Cuffy asked to withdraw money from the bank, they started laughing with the cashier, responding that you have to have an account for money withdrawal. Cuffy lifts her top and gets a gun. After robbing the bank, they confront Esco, who gave them arms to fight Rufus. Back to Redwood City, Rufus's men were deceived by Nat's gang. Later, Nat arrives with the money, but as expected, Cherokee aims a gun at him. Wait, Jim is also aiming at Bill. What a trio. This time, Jim and Bill's drawing contest is happening. The rule is pretty simple. Jim has to count up to 3 before drawing their guns. Unfortunately, Jim gets killed when he counts up to 2. This sparks everyone, and the shootout starts with Nat's maxims to kill Bill. The scene looks like a warfare game. Mary goes after Trudy, and while they're fighting, Nat is brutally slaughtering everyone. Pickett takes care of the men on the terrace. Marshall also massacres his opponents. Mary kills Trudy. Nat gets shot by one of Rufus's men. Wiley Esco expires by Rufus, and Rufus's men take the ground back. After the opponent's guns are empty, Nat lit a glow and killed almost everyone. Now it's time to kill the leader. Nat enters Rufus's house and sees him sitting on a chair. Rufus confesses his sin and explained why he killed Nat's parents. Rufus's father killed his mother and left him to rot. Later, he found him. He started a new life with a second wife and a child. It turns out that Nat is Rufus's brother. After quite an emotional scene, Rufus impelled Nat to kill him, which he does, and in the end, Nat and Mary leave the place to pursue their lives. Quite an exciting movie, huh? You know, this movie is fictional, but the characters' names and stories are pretty much the same. Director Samuel sets a nice ending to the story, but don't you think Rufus's redemption was necessary? I think we've got to wait to get the answer, as Director Samuel fancies expanding the story. Meanwhile, you have to tell us how you like the film. Share your best fan moments in the comment section below. In the end, as Mary asks him that, "Is the devil dead?" To which Nat responds, "I don't know. That's probably because you become what you kill." It was sad that Rufus's redemption became a dream for us now, but Nat succeeded in taking revenge for his parents. Thank you for watching Movie Stories, and tell us how you like the film.